The machines are off. Assembly lines that once ran day and night now sit cold. In a single month, Germany's factories lost more output than analysts predicted for the whole year. Poland's production is surging past them, foreign investors are fleeing, and even the country's most iconic industries are being stripped for parts by rivals abroad. Energy prices have crushed profits, car exports are under attack from US tariffs, and Chinese electric vehicles are flooding Europe faster than German automakers can respond. This isn't a slowdown, it's the unraveling of Europe's economic anchor. And if Germany can't pull out of this dive, the entire continent could be pulled down with it. The blast furnaces don't roar anymore. Their fire has thinned to a dull glow, metal congealing mid-pour as if time itself has stalled. Forklifts idle in half-lit bays. The proud heart of German industry isn't slowing, it's seizing up. June's industrial output, down nearly 2% in a single month. The steepest drop in years, and the latest in a long series of blows. Exports offered a flicker of relief, an uptick inside Europe, but beyond the continent, orders are falling. U.S. demand has dipped for the third straight month. Germany is selling more to its neighbors, but less to the world. That's not growth. That's retreat. And the retreat isn't confined to trade. Industrial production, measured against 2015 levels, has fallen back to 90%. In that same time, Poland's has soared to over 150%. The former apprentice now outpaces the master. The reason is as visible as it is irreversible. Energy. For decades, cheap Russian gas powered Germany's factories. Then, 2022 slammed that door shut. Prices spiked, profit margins collapsed, and companies began leaving. Chemicals, metals, heavy manufacturing. Plants are shifting to the US, where power is cheaper and contracts come without political crossfire. Demographics pile on. Retirements are accelerating. Immigration hasn't filled the gap. Productivity gains from automation are patchy. Some industries are upgrading, others are cutting shifts. The unemployment rate hides the churn older, high-skill jobs disappearing, replaced by lower-wage, less experienced labor. The tax base shrinks while pension costs climb. The euro, once Germany's secret weapon, is now a locked cage. There's no devaluation to boost exports, and really, no currency levers at all. Inside that cage sits the debt brake rule, Germany's constitutional cap on borrowing, blocking large-scale stimulus. The courts have reinforced it. The fiscal tools are there, but well, they're chained. Automobiles, the jewel of the crown, are losing shine fast. Between 2017 and 2023, domestic car output dropped over a quarter. German brands hesitated on electric vehicles. Chinese rivals didn't. BYD and NIO now push EVs into Europe at prices and speeds Germany just can't match. The engineers who once set the standard now race to catch up. Then came US tariffs on German cars, just enough to make exports less profitable, pushing factories closer to the edge. Public investment could have offset the blow, but it's under 3% of GDP, barely half what Sweden and Poland spend. Roads, rail lines, and the grid show years of underfunding. Foreign aid budgets, meanwhile, keep flowing abroad, most visibly to Ukraine. Billions leave the treasury while industrial towns struggle with crumbling infrastructure. Investor sentiment mirrors the streets. Confidence has cracked. Surveys show the steepest drops in years, with executives citing policy paralysis as their main concern. Coalition politics turn every economic decision into months of haggling. Energy policy, in particular, is frozen between climate goals, industrial needs, and foreign alliances. In this climate, Germany's economy minister Katharina Reiche called to lengthen working hours and delay retirement landed like a grenade. She argues Germany can't afford its current work-life balance. Supporters agree pensions and competitiveness are at stake. Opponents call it punishment for policy failures workers didn't create. The argument has blurred party lines, uniting business leaders with some lawmakers, while unions prepare for confrontation. Let's pause, because this was never the plan, the model that made Germany rich. Exports, manufacturing might, fiscal discipline now acts like an anchor. Strengths have turned into shackles. Global trade is shifting away from Germany's sweet spot. Asia trades more within its own networks. The United States is flexing protectionist muscles. Supply chains are moving, sometimes skipping Europe entirely. Trade surpluses, once Germany's economic signature, are shrinking. sometimes flipping into deficit. Across the European Union, new opportunities are emerging as competitors move quickly to seize them. Spain is attracting foreign investment with bold digital incentives, fueling innovation and growth. Meanwhile, Hungary and the Czech Republic are rapidly expanding with new battery and automotive plants, energizing their economies. As this momentum builds, Germany's traditional industrial dominance is being challenged. The Eurozone is adapting, with finance shifting to support regions showing the fastest growth. Banks are channeling capital into services and technology, driving a new wave of progress across Europe. But with the right moves, Germany can still revitalize its industries and help lead Europe's next chapter of innovation. Public mood has shifted from unease to open doubt. Polls show most Germans believe the economy is on the wrong track. That constrains political boldness. No leader can push through radical reforms without risking collapse in support before results arrive. The green transition, Germany's proud bet on the future, has become a cautionary tale. Coal and nuclear are out. Gas and renewables remain. But wind and solar face grid bottlenecks, storage gaps, and high costs. Heavy industry complains it's being priced out of its own energy market. Internationally, Germany's leadership role in Europe is under review. France is charting independent industrial policy. Italy is courting Chinese investment. Eastern states deepen defense and energy ties with the United States, bypassing traditional European Union consensus. Berlin's economic weight is still heavy, but its influence is lighter. A prolonged German slump could ripple far beyond Berlin. It might force the European Union to rewrite fiscal rules, shift trade priorities, and push the European Central Bank toward looser policy for longer. That could help debt-burdened southern economies while, undermining the euro's long-term appeal. At street level, the crisis is tangible. Higher power bills, fewer manufacturing jobs, infrastructure projects delayed or canceled. For younger workers, career paths in engineering and design no longer look secure. For older workers, talk of delayed retirement meets industries unwilling to carry their wage costs. While Berlin wrestles with energy grids and fiscal rules, another battlefield is emerging: technology sovereignty. Germany's dependence on imported semiconductors, battery components, and critical minerals has left it exposed in a world where supply chains are increasingly used as weapons. When China restricted exports of gallium and germanium, both vital for electronics, German manufacturers had no domestic fallback. Every disruption now risks stalling entire production lines for weeks. Compounding this is a startling fact. Over 70% of Germany's digital infrastructure investment comes from foreign tech firms, not domestic giants. That means key platforms, cloud storage, and AI tools are controlled abroad. For a nation that built its reputation on precision and autonomy, it's, a strategic vulnerability. On the financial front, private equity funds from the United States and Asia are quietly acquiring mid-sized German engineering firms, transferring patents and expertise overseas. The process is legal and largely invisible to the public, but it strips away competitive advantages piece by piece. Even Germany's famed Mittelstand, the dense network of small and medium-sized companies that underpins its economy, is showing cracks. Rising compliance costs and international competition are forcing many to sell, merge, or relocate. These firms, once stable across generations, are now more likely to be owned by foreign shareholders than German families. If these trends accelerate, the fallout won't be measured just in GDP loss. It will mean the permanent outsourcing of Germany's industrial DNA, the skills, innovations, and independence that defined it. And once that's gone, no recovery plan will bring it back. Fixing this will take more than marginal reforms. Energy diversification that cuts prices, not just changes suppliers, is essential. Investment in emerging industries must be aggressive and sustained. Labor reforms must balance competitiveness with social cohesion. But, above all, political consensus must exist long enough to see these measures through. Germany's economic fall isn't a single dramatic plunge. It's a controlled descent with the real danger that the controls fail. The same traits that built the miracle, discipline, stability, caution, must now be re-engineered for an unpredictable world. If Germany pivots, it can anchor Europe for decades. If it hesitates, the economic center of gravity will shift permanently east and south, leaving Berlin a spectator. And here's the high-stakes image to leave you with. Picture a massive freight train, once the locomotive of Europe, slowing on a long, icy grade. The carriages behind are full of nations still moving forward. If the engine doesn't regain traction now, the weight will pull the whole line back down the slope. We're glad you're enjoying this video. Please like and subscribe. Check out another video that is now on your screen.